Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to No DQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. Hope you're all having a good weekend. Got a lot of questions here on spring.me/Aaron Riff, so let's get started. First one today comes from Daniel Dryan. Hey Aaron, what is your opinion of the WWE title now being vacant for 2 months in a row? Is it because WWE doesn't have faith in Orton or Bryan with the title? Or are they waiting for John Cena to come back? Or are they waiting for Ethan to debut? Well, it's quite possible, that WWE is waiting for Ethan to debut. But if that's the case, they might be waiting a long time because Ethan is locked into TNA. After all, he is TNA. Get it? Anyways, in all seriousness here, I think that, as I mentioned in a previous video, WWE is doing this storyline with the vacant title to try and keep the feud going between Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. Now, perhaps there is some issues with WWE not having enough confidence in Randy Orton or Daniel Bryan. We all know the situation with Randy Orton, the 2 strikes. Maybe they don't want to have the title put on him for a long period of time. He did win it at SummerSlam and then lost it a month later. And as far as Daniel Bryan goes, everything that's been portrayed on TV about him, that he's a troll, goat face, too short. I mean, we all know that that's how WWE feels about him for the most part. This is a guy that, it is like a worked shoot. I mean, Triple H coming out there and saying that he's a good little technician that can go out there and have great matches. I mean, that's how WWE sees Daniel Bryan, a guy that they can rely on. But not necessarily the guy to carry the company and be the face of the WWE. So it is interesting how WWE has kind of done a worked shoot here and blended real-life feelings into a storyline. And as far as Cena goes, I mean, they're putting him in the world title picture right now with Alberto Del Rio, so it's not like they were waiting for Cena to come back, although that was a funny joke. Somebody posted the picture of Vince saying, "No Cena, no champ," and, that was kind of amusing. But, yeah, I don't really think that that's the case. But, yeah, there could be an issue with wanting to push Orton and Bryan at the top. But I also think a lot of it just has to do with a way for them to drag the feud out and keep the storyline going. And, they haven't done a vacant WWE title storyline in a while. So, I'm okay with it because, they've been good about having guys with long title reigns. CM Punk had the longest reign in 25 years and whatnot. So, if they do this every now and then where you have a controversial finish and then you vacate the title, I mean, that's fine with me. But, part of me would have liked to have seen maybe a tournament or something different to crown a new champion rather than just do a series of rematches, especially when you have another screwjob finish on a pay-per-view. All right, this one comes from Ashish Bassi 3. Hey Aaron, why is WWE continuously pushing Alberto Del Rio, even though he is completely boring? Fans don't even seem to care enough to boo him. But he has held championship for a large part of 2 years without ever a single match anyone can remember. Well, you have to keep in mind that WWE wants to have a top Hispanic superstar that can be pushed to that audience, the Hispanic fans. And with Rey Mysterio's future in doubt and Sin Cara basically being a bust, WWE brought in Del Rio hoping that he would be the next top Mexican superstar like Rey Mysterio or Eddie Guerrero. And he's really all they have right now with Mysterio and Sin Cara going back and forth with injuries. I mean, Del Rio's the one guy that they can count on. I think because of that, they will keep pushing him for the time being until they can come up with another guy or hope that at some point Del Rio catches on with the audience. I mean, that face turn really hurt him a lot, I think. And, some people got on my case saying that the face turn wasn't all that bad, but I mean, it was a flop. I mean, right from the get-go, they turn him babyface completely randomly, and then a week later he's back to being a heel running over Santa Claus. I mean, that right there set it up for failure. And they tried to put the world title on him, and it just didn't work, and they quickly turned him back to a heel. So I mean, it goes to show you that WWE knew it wasn't working, and they had to go back to him being a heel. But I think that they had wanted him. Their original plan for him was to make him a top beloved babyface, and it just didn't work. But WWE has nobody to blame but themselves for that. I mean, the way they booked him, didn't do him any favors. All right, this one comes from the Potato Lord. Will we ever see Fandango become a big deal? I'm almost sad over the fact that he rose to the top in popularity and has fizzled out in a matter of about a year, half a year. Well, I think it just had a lot to do with the fact that those fans the night after WrestleMania really enjoyed doing the Fandango dance or whatever it is, and because they were into him so much that he did gain some momentum. But I really think that the injury he had right before Money in the Bank, that definitely stalled the momentum, and he's never been the same since. So, it was just very bad timing for him to get hurt when he was in the middle of a big push. But then again, Fandango's another, in my opinion, novelty gimmick that, it's entertaining for a while, but eventually it's going to get old. And unless he does something else with the character and evolves it and changes it, then it's not going to amount to much in the long run. So, I think that it could have gone on for a longer period of time, but the injury definitely stalled the momentum. All right, this one comes from Super Kicker 18. Hey Aaron, when Big Show came out to confront Triple H, don't you think it would have been a lot more credible if his music hadn't played, considering he'd been fired early in the night? Yeah, definitely. I mean, just looking at it for what it was on television, I mean, it made no sense for him to come out with his music when he had been fired. But perhaps there's more to this storyline that we'll find out in the coming weeks. Maybe Big Show is in cahoots with Vince, and Vince agreed to sign him to an ironclad contract again, or some BS. So maybe there's more to it, but I mean, if there's no follow up and there's no explanation as to why he was able to come out there without the music, then yeah, just really bad writing and insulting the intelligence of the fans. But I'm thinking there's more to it because JBL was out there on commentary saying, "Where's the security?" And they were making a big deal out of where the hell is the security? Why aren't they stopping this guy? So maybe we'll get some sort of explanation as to why he was able to do that. Hopefully. All right, this one comes from CKY727. If WWE does go with Goldust versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 30. Do you think they will put Dusty Rhodes in the mix as a special guest referee? On paper, that sounds like an interesting idea, have Dusty be the referee for his sons going against each other. But as far as execution goes, I don't think that would work out too well. Dusty is not a young guy, and I think it would take away from the match a lot. I mean, when you have a normal match with Goldust and Cody Rhodes with a regular referee, I mean, that referee is going to be able to keep up the pace with those guys. And, with Dusty, it would be a lot slower. And also, Dusty would steal the spotlight, even if he's not intentionally trying to steal the spotlight. He's Dusty Rhodes. And, you want to keep the focus on, Goldust and Cody Rhodes. And, putting Dusty in there, I mean, let's face it, he's got more charisma than perhaps both of his sons combined. So, I don't think that it's a good idea to do that match for that reason alone. Or do the match with Dusty as referee for that reason alone. All right, this one comes from Jeroen Inc. Which finisher has been overused? I think it's the powerbomb, sit-down powerbomb. I definitely agree with you on the powerbomb. And, I think the number one most overused finisher in recent history would have to be the spear. I mean, how many guys have done the spear now? I mean, first you had Goldberg, then you had Edge, now you got Roman Reigns, Christian. I mean, there's like half a dozen guys, Rhino, all these guys using the spear as a finisher, and yeah, that one has really been done to death. And any form of the pile driver. I mean, there's been so many pile drivers, choke slams, and so on. All right, last one today comes from Kayfabe Candy Ass. Is it important for WWE to have a Hall of Fame building? I would say yes. I think that it adds more credibility and legitimacy to your Hall of Fame to have a physical location and have all those different artifacts and things from the past that people can look at. I think it's a good idea to have it and to have it in a place like Orlando, which is a major tourist attraction, and I'm all for it. And I think that if you want people to take the Hall of Fame seriously, it definitely helps to have a building there that people can go to, and not just be some television gimmick where you induct people into this Hall of Fame that doesn't actually exist in real life. So yeah, I'm all for it, and I think it's good for business too, because you can get people. You can charge an admission fee and get people coming into the building, and you can make money off of that. So why not? Alright, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Share this video on Facebook and Twitter. Keep spreading the word. And I will see you guys next week for more No DQ&A video.